Leadership takes various forms in the play, Nancy. So we have our prompt. Nice. Then we go into paragraph 1, body paragraph 1. Write an essay dealing with one instance where woman's leadership provides guidance or hope. Easy, 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 easy. And one instance showcasing captain's leadership style on the ship. Also easy. All right? That shouldn't pose any problems. For one of the instances, explore how the leadership approach affects the morale or decisions of one or more characters. Also easy. And then let's see what the spicy part's going to be. Finally, comment on Campbell's use of contrast in the characterization of these two characters. Ooh, there we go. That's the kicker. That's the catch. Whenever a question looks too easy, you can just expect that the final third of it is going to challenge you a little bit. All right, let's see if we can run through this from here. You must listen ever more carefully, not with sick ears, but with forest ears. Blah, blah, blah. And there's this conversation. Look, they're dragging away a man. Silence. Don't let them notice you. You're still not listening. Animals are never cruel. So here, woman is definitely leading and guiding, right?
Right.
And it goes down to this kind of, quote that we need to remember. They eat your soul and leave your body empty. I pity them. So from here to about here, I think might be an option for us in terms of woman leading and guiding. Ooh, look at this, right? Look at how woman shows some wisdom here and kind of explains something to girl. And this is how girl responds. I know it, mother. That's our secret, like spinning the web. Now you're showing strength. Weave your little web like a dream in the dark, and wait. Here it seems like a nice moment to choose because we see woman sharing wisdom, and we see immediately that girl receives it.
Okay.
So a scene like this, I think, would be optimal, right? So let's say we work with let's say woman talks about the white man, right? Then let's call it that. And girl understands. We'd also need to show find one instance showcasing captain's leadership style. Where do we find that?
One instance where captain's leadership style is what can you show captain's leadership style? When the question is asking captain's leadership style, it's pertaining to how he leads or how he how he leads the sailors in what they're supposed to be doing, sir.
It's up to you. It's leadership, so it could be how he leads how he leads his sailors, or how he runs the ship, how he deals with the slaves.
Wait, so how he leads boy, that could be the way captain is trying to indoctrinate boy into following in his footsteps. So it could be in the scene where what could be a good example? The scene where boy fully accepts the fact that he can't do anything but just to follow in his father's footsteps. Like in the scene where is it? Where is it? Just excuse me, sir. I'm trying to find the scene. Right. So it could be in page 43 where boy just accepts his father's leadership or captain's leadership.
Oh, that's near the end. Okay, here.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What kept you? Nothing what?
That's when boy gets beaten into submission. He totally gives up, demonstrating exactly how captain is about how he treats his slaves on board. He just beats them some would be beaten into submission. Others, like girl, would be, because she had woman there to guide her along the way. That leadership would be something very different to the way captain conducted business. Exactly how he beat his own son into submission is exactly how he handled everything in terms of the slaves. The way he has his crew also. Right?
Yeah, I would make the point that if captain can treat his son this way, then how harsh would he be when leading the slaves? I would probably go to an earlier scene that shows more of captain's dialogue. For example, up here when he confiscates the diary and hits the boy. Right, you'll take this book and you'll throw it overboard. Then I might consider forgiveness for that and your acts of dalliance, idleness. But I haven't done anything. Precisely, you've been idling and chattering with the rating. Every man has a place on this ship, and you learn yours if I have to break your back. I think this piece of dialogue here is a nice testament to Captain's leadership style. The iron fist, the know your place, don't question me, do your job, and don't look left or right. If I give you a knife and give you a black man, you kill that black man and don't ask any questions. You know, you're gonna be the next captain. Learn to work without a conscience. All right, don't question anything. Don't think about it. Do what you're told. So this scene here for me is this is probably what I'd focus on. I were to write this essay.
Sir, in the first scene, he's laughing, but he didn't hurt me. Let's remember.
Yeah, so that would be a slightly weaker scene to choose. But I like the scene with the threat, because it really shows that if this leader is dealing with his own son like this, then clearly we know what kind of man he is. Yeah. So I would choose that scene to show his leadership style on the slave ship. Then for one of these scenes, we'd have to explore how the leadership approach affects the morale or decisions of one or more characters. That is when I would use that section that Varys mentioned just now, where boys basically changed. He gives up. I would say Captain's leadership style ends up affecting boys' morale. You know, his level of, you know, his psychology, his confidence, his energy. We see how that is affected by the end of the play. Captain's leadership just breaks boy. So I could look at that. Or we could look at woman's leadership style and how it actually helps girl to mature and transform and become stronger. So we could definitely look at either, but we'd only choose one to look. Yeah. Now let's look at the juicy part. Yeah. Comment on Campbell's use of contrast in the characterization of these two leaders. How do we approach that? First of all, what is the contrast between the two leaders, woman and captain?
It would be the contrast of how their leaderships differ. Like, for example, woman leads with nurturing care, and she tells, it's nurturing care to bring up girl. For captain, he rules with an iron fist. He's strict. He's good. He's brutal with his son.
Mm-hmm. So, woman nurtures, captain threatens. Right? Woman also explains. What does captain do? Captain dictates. I'm not gonna tell you why. Just do what I say. Whereas woman is explaining things. She's getting into why. She's getting into how. She's getting into all of that stuff. So girl can have a deep understanding. So we've outlined the contrast, but that isn't the end of it. We have to comment on Campbell's use of contrast in the characterization on these two characters. So how would we comment on the contrast?